Yo, listen, I'm a veteran with this rap thing, you heard? I got videos with Jada Kiss, Jim Jones, Conway, Tony Ayo, songs with Pat Poose, Uncle Murder, and all type of legends, you heard? So if you want to collab with me, text me at that number right there and let's get it in. You heard? Collab and promo, one price. You heard? My promo game on this channel was vicious. You heard? Get at me, Z-Boy. Warning, this is the story of Spank from Far Rockaway, who was convicted of shooting 4 police and killing 2. By putting this story on this channel, I do not by any means condone, commend, or encourage shooting or killing any type of police or anybody in general for that matter. This is just the story.
He found me guilty of everything, even stuff they didn't even have evidence for. He found me guilty of everything and gave me 4 consecutive life sentences plus 365 years.
The reason I put the story out there, I want my kids to know that I didn't abandon them. You know, because some of my kids, they mad because I wasn't there for that when they grew up. I don't want them to think that I abandoned them at no time. I didn't have a choice. I did what I supposed to did. I done what any other person with common sense would have done. So I just want you to know that from the start. It's in the history books now, because they took it from straight from the court record. I was walking down the street. I was going to, there's a place in Pennsylvania called Stroudsburg. I was walking to Stroudsburg from where I was at. Police, they rolled down on me with a black Jeep and a white car, down from New York. Now, the white cars just signify a security guard. I'm not getting arrested for a security guard, but they had guns. So the dude in the white car told the dude in the black Jeep to put him in the car. I'm saying, for what? What did I do? So the dude, I got a black and white Kangol on. The dude put his hand on top of my Kangol and threw me in the car. And look, if I was being arrested, they would have pat frisked me, they would have handcuffed me, they would have read me Miranda warrants, and they told me why they doing what they're doing. But no, what they did is just threw me in the car. So when I told the guy that was driving the white car, I said, where you take me? He said, oh, we're going to take care of you. We're going to take care of you, nigga. I have never been called a nigger by a police at no time. I mean, even in New York City, I have never been called a nigger. And that didn't stand for that. So when he went to make the turn, he drove off. When he went to make the turn, I'm trying to figure out where you take me, we're going to take you. We're going to take you. As soon as you're about to say it again, that's when I pulled my gun out. Now look, if I had been arrested, they would have passed me and found my gun. If I had been arrested, they would have handcuffed me. If I had been arrested, they would have told me why they stopped me and read me Miranda warrants, and I could have felt at peace. But right now, I'm thinking these people taking me somewhere to kill me. This is the South. It's the first state of the South. I'm thinking if people take me somewhere to kill me, you ain't telling me when you going to let me out the car. When he didn't let me out the car, he made it. He smashed it to the Jersey. It's a Jersey bird right there. He smashed it to the Jersey bird. When he smashed it to the Jersey bird, the gun went off. And it was on. Because I'm not having you to take me nowhere to kill me. I'm not doing that. It's not. If anybody get hurt, I'm not going to be the only one get hurt. So when he got shot, the car just went crazy. The alarms start going off, and the lights start going wah, 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 wah. The lights start blinking. Police came from everywhere. I don't know where they come from. But this is a white car. Remember, I'm from New York City. The police in New York dressed in blue. This bad boy had on a white shirt and the gray pants. Like he was a security guard or something. I'm not having him. So anyway, so when they rolled down the car, the police tried to get inside the car. They couldn't get inside the car on the driver's side because it was locked against the Jersey bird. So they had to come on the passenger side and open the passenger side door, but the front door was locked. So they opened the back door. When they opened the back door, I put my foot out there, bad boy. And one police pushed me back in the car, other one pulling me out the car. So one police reached swing, all of us while we struggling, and opened up the front seat of the car. And he went inside the front seat. He said, "Oh no, you shot a cop." Now, if you already told me I just shot a cop, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to stop? No, because now I know you're going to kill me. I'm from New York City. I know you're going to kill me. So what I did is I made sure I outlived them bad boys. I shot one in the face, got up. When I got up, I told the dude, I got about 3 steps away from my solicitor. Don't do it. Don't do it. And he still went for his gun. So instead of shooting him in the head or the face, I shot him through the arm. He dropped the gun, I took out running. When I took out running, they started chasing behind me. One dude had a flashlight, and the other dude had some keys. So I looked at the keys and the flashlight, and I seen them coming at me, guns drawn. I shot again, shot him in the face. And the other, one dude turned around and shot him in the back. So all in all, 4 police got shot. 1 got shot in the arm. Everybody else got shot in the head. And then the story begins. And I've been locked up ever since. Look at this. I've been down 37 years now. Just 36 years. I haven't had a parole hearing yet. Yeah, I haven't been seen by nobody yet. I'm trying to figure out why.
What's your sentence, though?
4 life sentences for 365 years, all running wild. 4 consecutive life sentences plus 365 years, all running wild. But down here in Maryland, how they supposed to did it? They supposed to took me up after 11 years, 8 months on my first license and paroled me to the next one. But they did. They done away with A and B sentence. So when they done away with A and B sentence, they made everything one long, drawn out bit. So they tell me I got 36 in now. They told me I got to wait till the year 2137 before I'm eligible for parole. She also told me I got 67 years of good time. I got 67 years of good time. And all the time I got in, I got over 100 years. When I'm going to see somebody? Can't see nobody. Can't complain. And they made it so, they put so many barriers that I can't get back to court no time soon without a good lawyer. I was walking down the street. If you read the book, the case, if you look at this, it's called Green versus State. 79, Maryland Appendix, page 506. That's in the law book. You can look that up. Again, it's Green versus State. 79, Maryland Appendix, page 506. That's where the case started. And all I have done was walk down the street. Because I was in an all-white neighborhood, they threw me the car. Just like they do out there in Nassau County, they went to extreme. They threw me in the car. Out there in Nassau County, they stopped. But no, with me, they threw me in the car. When they threw me in the car, I didn't know where they were going to take me to. I didn't know what they was planning on doing with me. But I know I wasn't going to be the only one hurt that night. I mean, there's a book out right now. If you want to read it's probably on the internet. You probably read it. It's called State versus Us. The lady who done the interview, she pulled up the law book. So if you look at State versus Us, there's a magazine with me in there, interview with me in there, and it'll tell you the whole story, the same story I just told you. In all, 4 got shot. 4 got shot. It was over 250 police.
And they was all white, them 4 police?
One out of all the police, his name was Washington. It was black. Everybody else was white. I'm down here in Maryland. I'm in what they call the Mason-Dixie state. This is the first southern state. I got busted directly across the street from a place called Rising Sun, which is the headquarters for the Ku Klux Klan for this coast. So, I mean, I didn't know that at the time, but I found out since I was arrested that this is the headquarters. So, I'm asking you a question. If I don't know your pigmentation. Yeah, I do know your pigmentation now. I know you're black because you just asked the bond. What would you do if some cops see you walking down the street, roll down on you, and threw you in the backseat of the car? Now, keep in mind that you got a big Mac Young 38 special on you. and they just throw you in the back of the car and take off driving with you. What would you do? What would you think?
I mean, and this was what year again?
1986.
Yeah, man, you know, 4 dudes threw me in the back of a car and they ain't want to tell me where we was going. I would start to believe that them dudes were some racist dudes that want to kill me.
Look at this. Look at this. Now, since I've been down here, I read an article. I read this one article about this dude. They had a class in a bar. Black dude. 2 white police. They off duty and everything. They wanted to have some fun with the black guy. So what they did is they grabbed him, a black guy man, off the bar, dragged him out the bar, and threw him in the back of the car. They say they were just having, playing a joke with him, right? But look, the black dude, he finally got up and he started fighting because he didn't have handcuffs on. He started fighting and ran away. When he ran away, one of the police shot him in the back, and they covered that shit up for 11 years. The only way the story came out is the cop that shot the boy, him and his wife was having a divorce, and she was a dispatch at the time, and she told on him. Otherwise, nobody would ever knew that this cop shot this kid in the back and covered them for 11 years. So I'm not gonna be a statistic. I come from a place. I come from Far Rockaway. Let's remind you. I'm from Far Rock. You should know you're familiar with Far Rock. On one side is Howard Beach and Broad Channel. The other side is Nassau County. The 2 most racist areas in all of New York. But I'll take none. I'm not talking about Bensonhurst. I'm not talking about none of it. I'm talking about Nassau County and Howard Beach Broad Channel. So if I know that these people dislike me so much that they can kill me and cover it up, what am I supposed to do? What would you do?
Where you at? Where you from in Far Rockaway?
40s. The 40s. I'm from the 40s. I used to live up there on Namio. I used to live, but I was primarily from the 40s. I used to live on Namio, right there outside of Nassau County. Right outside of Nassau County. So, here's where I'm at, right? I don't want my kids to think for 1 second that I didn't want to raise them. I didn't want to be there for them, right? My girl, I guess she's disillusioned. That's a good word. She got disillusioned back in '94, and I guess she got tired of, waiting for me to get out. So she dissed me for my kids. I couldn't get in contact with my kids no more because she didn't want to have a relationship no more. That's in '94. I didn't abandon my kids. I wanted my kids, man. But what can I do? I can't do nothing. And I respected it because she stood me for so long.
How old was you when you caught that case?
I just turned 27. Just turned. A matter of 2 months, 3 months. I just got out of prison. I just got out of prison earlier in New York. And I've only been on the street almost 6 months. I'm always. Was lock-in time? We got to lock in. We got to lock in. All right, I can call back in 15 minutes if they turn this tablet on. I'll call back in 15 minutes. You hear me?
All right, bet.
All right.
All right.
All right, I love you, Eric. All right, peace.
Peace. It was a manhunt when they was looking for you?
Ain't no question. It's all in every paper. Ain't no question. 10 hours. They had over 250 police, SWAT, everything, helicopters, everything. 10 hours. I only got away with 10 hours because I didn't know the area.
What you tried to do? What you tried to do after it happened?
I tried to make sure I live. I tried to run. Green versus State. 79. Maryland offenders. That's MD.APP. Page 506. Look that up. That's my whole case. It's already made the record books. And they made the record books because the next morning when they caught me, one of the police, this is the only police report that got shot in the arm, he said, I think it's him. In other words, he didn't even know me. Couldn't even identify me. He identified me from watching me on the news. Because that's how he went about identifying me. And that identification stuff, normally, Anybody else, they would have threw out the identification. I could have fought like that. But the thing, this is how they got me. They got me because in that particular area, it was predominantly white. So the lawyers that represented me, they said that they thought they would stand a better chance by going to another jurisdiction. So what they did, they put in for a change of venue, which was granted immediately, and they moved me from Harford County to Anne Arundel County, which is the headquarters, which is the capital of Maryland. However, I didn't know that it was so racist. I didn't know that. So when they got me up here, this judge, on a 26-count indictment, plus 1 count on criminal information, he found me guilty of everything, even stuff they didn't even have evidence for. He found me guilty of everything and gave me 4 consecutive life sentences plus 365 years, which is astronomical, which is the only person in the state of Maryland who got more time than I did was a guy that had 15 licenses. However, with him, they ran all his together, so he only had 1 license. So I had most time in the history of Maryland. And look at this, that's not the bad part. The bad part is after he sentenced me to everything, he had a second part, which was the death penalty case, which is a second trial. Instead of taking a jury, instead of taking a judge sentence, I took a jury sentence. The jury came back with the first impasse decision in the history of Maryland. The history. They said they couldn't find me guilty of murder, so they couldn't give me the death penalty. They tried. Now, if I took the judge sentence, I'd have got the death penalty. But the jury said they couldn't find me guilty of murder. So the judge gave me life instead of the death penalty. Now, if I went with a jury trial, I probably would have been home because all I was doing was doing what comes natural. I was defending my life. I would have got away with self-defense.
And you said they never cuffed you, right?
Nope, never cuffed me, never pat frisked me. How'd I get a big Nakion 38 special in the car? A big, if you know anything about the guns, Nakion special is one of the biggest 38s made. It's up there with that 41. It's a huge gun. It's a huge, huge gun. So if they were police, and if they was doing their job, they'd have passed frisked me, handcuffed me, and they'd have found the gun. Coming down with a cold?
That's weed.
Oh, I heard. I can respect that. Everything legal needs. And they lock me up and make everything legal. Ain't that a product? I heard that. But yeah. What else? What other questions you want to know? And the reason I'm telling you, I'm being as candid as I possibly could. I'm being more candid than I should. But before I die, I want my kids to know my story.
Yeah, that's real. It gets no realer than that. So you said
I'm getting old.
You was in Attica before you caught that case?
Yeah, I came home from Attica. And all the time I've been down, all the time I've been down, Attica is the only, I repeat, the only prison that made me feel apprehensive. That's a good word, right? It's a good one. But I don't want to say scared because my son on the line. But it was the only prison that made me feel apprehensive. And the jail, the atmosphere of the jail itself, like the prison itself, is surreal. It makes you feel like you was in a haunted house and something is gonna happen, but you don't know when and you don't know what. It makes you feel so uncomfortable. That's what Attica is. But I've been to a whole lot of prisons in New York. In New York, you probably know this, right? You get a transfer every 3 months back then, and they had over 100 prisons in New York. So I did my share of hopping around.
They don't do that no more. That's crazy. You said you used to get a transfer every 3 months in the maxes?
You can't do that no more up there?
Yeah, you can't just
like every 3 years or something now.
Yeah, you can't just put in for a transfer. No. You could put in for one, but they'll just string you along for years, and then eventually, like, if you just do everything right, they'll give it to you.
Oh, the way it was, right? The way it was, every 3 months you can put in for a transfer. You get to pick 3 jails, 3 prisons. You get to pick 3 prisons, and they'll give you one out of them 3 every 3 months until you get somewhere you feel comfortable with. And that system was all right up there. But now they say it's messed up. Would you believe this? When I was up there, we couldn't even own the TV, and you didn't miss it because there was so much stuff to do.
Yeah, man. Even in New York now, you only can have a TV, I think, in certain max jails. I'm not sure if they changed it, but when I was up north, you couldn't have a TV in every jail.
They still got the conjugal visitors up there? Hey, that was where both my sons was conceived at.
That's crazy. My man just came home from doing 25. He had 2 kids.
Yeah, you get the travel visits come in handy. But after 72 hours, come on, you get tired. You get tired of 72 hours. You done all you can do. You can't do no more. You gotta wait another 90 days. That's it. I can't do no more. Anyway, yeah, hey, but I done 6.5 up there, you know, and I was bouncing around. I went from Sing Sing to Downstate, because Sing Sing was the receiving joint one time. Then they made it Downstate. We opened up Downstate. From Downstate, I went to Comstock. From Comstock, I went to Otisville. From Otisville, I went to Mid-Orange. Mid-Orange, I went back to Comstock. Comstock, I went to Comstock Annex. Comstock Annex, I went to back to Mid-Orange. From Mid-Orange, I went to Osterkill. From Osterkill, I got to do shit with the guards and the Muslims. And I went up there to Attica. That's where I came home from.
You said you got into something at Arthur Kill?
Yeah, we got into something big up there. We used to go to war. We had riots almost every motherfucking month up there, man.
Shit, niggas was killed. People was dying to get to Arthur Kill. Everybody was trying to get to Arthur Kill. I don't even think that jail is open no more.
I've been to Arthur Kill too. It's over there in Staten Island, at the end of Arthur Kill Road.
Yep.
I'm down with that.
Everybody was saying that to me too before, that I would never see Arthur Kill, and I would end up going there.
Yeah, you was the luckiest dude in the world if you got in Arthur Kill. But what happened in Arthur Kill though?
Okay. During Ramadan, we was fasting, and one of the Muslims, they wanted to play with me all the time. Like, you know, my name's Spank. I was somebody, right? So I didn't play them up for going on a record like that. Right? So I told him to stop bullshit and get the fuck out the room, right? So he didn't want to get out of the room, so I picked his ass up and put him out the room. I had a 4-man room, but he didn't belong there. I put him out the room because I was tired of hearing his mouth. So he wanted to fight. So okay, we go in the shower. When you go in the shower, he didn't know that my name is Spank for a reason. I banged him out. He didn't stand a chance. So he all swole up, putting water on his shit and everything. He ain't saying nothing. The next morning, he go get his brother. His brother's down the hall. They come back and they call themselves jumping. Now, they Muslims, and I'm a 5%. So, you know, of course, you know, the 5% want to get into it. The Muslims want to get into it. Next thing you know, we got a big old battle and they transfer us out. They sent them to Clinton, sent me to Attica.